The chub gives at least one advantage to the angler. He's a greedy fish. There are few things he won't eat and few times he won't eat them. At the same time, he's a cautious, suspicious fish, able to detect you by the least awkward movement. You'd swear he could see round trees. He's very much a show fish. You find shows of them from about £1 up to £3 or £4 lurking in the easy water of rivers. When they get beyond that weight, they tend to become solitary, and then they can grow up to as much as £10. Chub love to lie close to and among tree roots that go down into the water. And the first thing they do when you hook them is to make a powerful dive for those roots to break your tackle. That's when you must hold them firmly. So you need pretty strong tackle. This is the sort of rod for chub. Plenty of bend, with a strong action right the way down so that it's good for absorbing the first plunge of the chub. And the line must match. One that might play a chub perfectly well in the open water is no good among the roots. So, nylon of £6 breaking strain. There are plenty of rivers that hold chub, but let's go for a big chub today. There's one river better than any other for big chub. The River Avon in the beautiful English southern county of Hampshire. There's no slow water on this river. It's fast and gin clear. Not an easy river to fish, because that canny fish, the chub, can detect you a long way off. We're fishing with Leslie Brewer today. He knows his chub. He knows how to get them on this river. There's no slow water, but Leslie must look for some of the steadier water, preferably a nice gliding swim under trees. He's going for that swim, and as it's some 30 yards away, he's going to fish from the punt. Probably a great shoal of chub down there, waiting for what falls off the trees and what comes down with the current. Caterpillars, insects, worms, grubs, fallen fruit, small fish, slugs, snails. I've even seen them grab cigarette ends. Leslie's going to use ground bait heavily. It's a good thing with chub to make them think that nature has started sending them plenty of what you're going to offer them eventually on the hook. Mashed bread mixed with sausage rusk as big as an orange and squeezed dry so that they'll sink well. And cheese in each ball, because that's what he's going to use as a bait. This ground bait breaks up gently and floats downstream. Remember, Leslie's fishing a long way off, so the ground bait must travel, and there must be plenty of it. Leslie Brewer's using on his chub rod a nylon line of £6 breaking strain, with a big float with a very strong current, and to carry the amount of lead necessary to get the bait down to the fish. His bait is mashed bread with cheese in it. Leslie's going to make a test cast to find the depth. He's well away from where he thinks the chub are, so he's made his cast into the strong current to take the line off the reel against gentle finger pressure. Let's suppose that the swim's 7 feet deep. There's no need to have the bait right against the bottom, because chub find their food at all levels in the water. Float's dragged under, bait snagging the bottom. Bring it back for readjustment. He puts the float down about 4 inches so that there will be a trail of nylon from the lead to the hook, going ahead of the lead, parallel with the bottom. A couple more balls of ground bait, so that they'll reach bottom near the head of the swim and break up down the swim. Must have these chub expecting what's on the hook. Cast again, allowing the bait to move naturally with the current all the way down the swim. There's usually no doubt about it when the chub takes the bait, but those chub are a long way off down there, and at that distance the strike has to be a powerful sweeping one to take up all that line and set the hook 6 feet below the surface. You can easily miss on the strike by having loose bellows of line between you and the fish. That's why Leslie is correcting the bellows of line as the current puts them in. That's about the end of the swim the tackle's got to, where he expects the chub to be. He can only just see the float, so bring it back for another cast. Bait all right? Yes. Pulse the smoke. Well, that means the fight's on. Leslie's convinced that under that bush the chub are lurking, and he's determined to catch one or more.